What are you looking at? It's me, Tony Montana. In honor of National Panini Month, I'm going to make a Cuban sandwich just like I did in my Academy Award critically acclaimed nominated film, Scarface. First thing you got to do is take the pistol out of your waist and put it on the counter. Okay, now that the pistol is on the counter, we can talk about the supplies, man. Okay, the first thing we need is we need some baby Swiss cheese. Secondly, we need some Cuban bread, but if you can't have Cuban bread, French bread will do the trick. And then maybe some type of pork, okay? I'm just gonna shred out these pork chops and put some Cuban flavor. And of course, Cuban style mustard. That makes all the difference in the world. And then I got me some Black Forest ham. I think we are ready to make the Cuban sandwich. The next step you do is you get you a very sharp knife and you take it and we're gonna slice this pork up because we don't need no pork chops, man. So we're gonna take it and I'm gonna slice it up really in small little pieces. Hopefully, I will not cut my fingers off, okay? So we keep on slicing the pork. Okay. Now that the pork is ready, it's sliced up, as thin as I could get it without cutting my hands off, my fingers. We take it and we're gonna cook it up, and we got some special seasoning. You may know this seasoning, Goya or Boya, okay? It's good stuff. It's Cuban flavor, all-purpose seasoning with cumin con comino, okay? So this is really good Cuban flavor. It's gonna add the extra spice that we need in order to set this apart from a regular American style sandwich, okay? Okay. Next, what we do is we start heating up a pan. What do you think is in this pan? It's my little friend. Say hello to my little friend, EVOO. We want to heat the pan up and get the oil nice and hot. Okay, I think the oil is hot. So what do we do next, okay? This is what we're going to do. We're going to take the pork chops and we put it in the pan. And we're going to cook it up. While that's cooking, don't be stingy. Don't be stingy with the Goya or Boya. That looks like a good amount of Goya or Boya, okay? So we're gonna let this brown up. Take a little wood spatula. I like to use the wood spatula because it won't scratch up. This is a really nice pan that I got for Christmas, okay? So I don't want to scratch it up with a metal spatula. So I take the wood, and I use this primarily when I'm using this pan. So we're gonna let that warm up and get all heated up in all the olive oil, cook it and brown it up, and it's gonna be really good, and it's gonna really make the sandwich come alive with that Cuban flavor. Okay, while the pork chops is cooking, we're gonna take some of the Black Forest ham, and we're gonna wake that up. We need to wake it up. It's been sleeping for a little while. So we're gonna wake it up, put a little bit of heat to it, get that nice and warmed up, maybe a little crispiness. Just bring the flavors alive. Bring the flavors alive. Okay, this pork is really cooking. Howdy. If you only knew, if you only had smell vision, man. Howdy. I tell you what, man, it smells really good. You ought to get a load of this. Okay. While we finish waking up the ham, I think it's time for us to prepare the sandwich. Okay. First thing we want to do is we take the bread that I already cut in half because I didn't want to mess up on camera. So I cut it in half because that's probably the hardest part of the whole sandwich. And then we take the Cuban mustard. Can you see the Cuban mustard? As we take the Cuban mustard and we put a little bit of Cuban mustard on the sandwich. You don't want to have too much mustard. This probably a good amount right here. Maybe we put just a little bit on the other side. Nothing too much. Okay? Because the meat is the real flavor. Also, you cannot forget the sandwich dill chips. Don't you get no bread and butter, okay? I don't want to see you or anybody else using the bread and butter pickles because they do not belong on a Cuban sandwich. After you put on the mustard, you want to take the baby Swiss, and I think we will put that on the top loaf of bread, okay? It looks good like that. We're going to put it right here like this. You cover the whole bread with cheese because everybody loves the taste of Swiss cheese. If you don't like the taste of Swiss cheese, maybe you shouldn't be watching a video on how to make a Cuban sandwich. Okay, now we got the Swiss cheese. I think we're ready to add some meat. So we got the meat. The ham is wide awake now, okay? The ham is wide awake. We're going to take the ham and we're going to put it here on the bottom piece of bread. It's wide awake. Look at that. Looking nice and fried to perfection. Put the little baby piece on there. We want to put all the ham across the bottom. And if you run out, you just go back the other way, okay? That's how we do it. I still got some more ham. I think it's wide awake. Ow, I burned myself. You don't want to burn yourself. So I get the spatula and grab the last few pieces of the ham. And then we just continue. Ah, very hot. Oh, it's very hot. Okay, now the ham is on the sandwich. We can add the pork chops now. The pork chop. We're going to go ahead and put that also right there on top of the ham. This is going to be such a good sandwich. It's going to be so good. You're going to love it. It's a little messy, but in the end, you're going to be smiling because the taste is going to be amazing. I want to lie to you, okay? Not me. I always tell the truth, even when I lie. Okay, there we go. Now, final step. I can't open the pickle jar. Hold on. My hands are too greasy. Literally the hardest pickle jar I ever had to open. I think I may have even pulled a muscle. So we're going to take the pickles. And I think we're going to put them. No, we're going to put them on top of the meat. Because I don't want the pickles to fall down. We're just going to go across the top with the pickles. If you like more pickles, add more pickles. By all means. So we're just going to go across with the pickles. And voila. There we have it. Now we take the top piece of bread. And we put it down. And we smash it down. Okay, it's almost time to add the sandwich to the panini. The next step before we add the sandwich to the panini is we take the butter, or the imitation butter, or the can't believe it's not butter, or the country crock, and we're going to put it on the bread. Don't be stingy with the butter neither. Never not enough butter. I love butter. So do my arteries. My arteries, they love the butter too. Okay, so now we got it on the top piece. How am I going to put it on the bottom piece? My friends, it's quite simple. See, I got a good friend here. This is my other little friend. It goes by the name Jorge Foreman. Jorge Foreman, okay? And what we want to do is we want to take this sandwich and we're going to flip it, and hopefully not too much of the meat is going to spill out. Only a little bit of the meat. We can always put that back in later. Some more of the butter, and we put it on the bottom piece of bread. Once again, don't be stingy with the butter. And if you like, at this point, you can take the meat that fell out and just stick it in there. Stick it back in the sandwich, if you can. If not, just set it aside. I don't feel like fooling with it. So now, what do? We close the top, and we hope that the thing does not fall apart. And we let Jorge, my good friend Jorge, he do the rest of the job. Okay, after about 5 minutes, the sandwich should be grilled to perfection. There we have it. It looks good. It looks good. Final step, we take the sandwich, we put it on the cutting board, we cut it in half, put it back together when it falls apart. I have the hardest time cutting sandwiches. And then, take the little meat. We clean up the mess. There you have it. The Cuban sandwich. And that's how you make a Cuban sandwich. Tony Montana style. Say goodnight to the bad guy.